But that's consistency. Because let me go to an interview 17 times
Yeah.
for a job.
Probably after the second one, you're like, I don't know if I could do this.
It's not gonna work for me.
You know what I mean? But I think the thing that kept me going is my agent told me, he was just like, because I was frustrated, and he was just like, listen, you know, they're calling you back because they want you. Be concerned and worry when the phone stops ringing. True. And from that point on, I looked at it, I was like, okay. I didn't see it from that way.
Good outlook. Yeah,
I didn't see it from that way,
yeah.
but I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, fast forward, and just even going back to what we just said, showing up on time, knowing your lines, and hitting your mark.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Check-In, where we realize that ain't nobody gonna check in on us, so we gonna do it ourselves. My name is NeAndre Broussard. I'm your host, the founder and CEO of Black Menswear, which is an organization that takes time out of our day, month, week, year to highlight and amplify what amazing stories that come out of our community, black men and black women. Today, I've got a dope black man joining me on today's show, Mr. Kareem Grimes, actor. Most of y'all know him from his longevity on the show All American as Preach, but he's actually Kareem Grimes. Started way back when, bro, and I'm gonna talk about this. You've been acting as long as I've been alive. But we've got Kareem Grimes here. Kareem, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
As we get started today, we're gonna talk about this building a foundation and a career, because you have done an amazing job at that.
Thank you, brother.
But before we get started, man, what was one thing that somebody told you long time ago, or maybe even yesterday, that changed your outlook, made you think like that was a really, really great quote, that was a really, really great statement? What is one of those things that you've picked up along the way that's really stuck with you?
Making daily deposits. Making daily deposits. The more daily deposits that you make towards whatever it is that you want to do in life, health, wealth, spiritual, fitness, whatever it is, those daily deposits add up, and then your return will be great. Yeah.
Not weekly, not monthly.
Every day.
Every day.
Make a daily deposit. It doesn't have to be big. Just small little steps. Yeah. You know, the more you deposit into your bank. Yeah. Daily, when it's time for that return, you're gonna be like, man, I did a lot. Yeah. So it's definitely those daily deposits, man.
So going back to daily deposits, you talk about it. I want to go back to conversation that you and I had during the pandemic a few years ago. Yeah. And that was when I learned about you, that this journey started for you now 30 years ago, right? As an extra on Boyz n the Hood. Yeah. But earned your right to have lines on Boyz n the Hood. Yeah. And just talking about like that aspect of deposits, what did you do then that earned you that role or earned you that opportunity that you're still doing now in regards to hitting those daily deposits?
I think, man, just showing up, number one, and just being grateful. At that time, man, I think this was probably my first film. A lot of stuff that I did was like TV show, but this right here was a film that, you know, was talked about before it hit the mainstream. You know, I found out this young brother by the name of John Singleton, graduated USC, is doing this film, needed some black boys who can skateboard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at that time, that's what I was in. My mom's friend said, hey, they're looking for young black men, young black boys. Voila, I'm on set, you know, and there's maybe 6 other kids, boys there. And, you know, I was just happy to be there, man. Here I am, maybe 13, 14 years old, out of school, on set, you know what I mean, during a weekday. Yeah. And it was just, I was just happy, man. Yeah. And, you know, just showing up, doing the work, being an extra. And 2 weeks into shooting, we're lunch break, we're all just throwing the ball around. John Singleton comes over, and he's talking to everybody. All the boys were just throwing the ball around, and he came to me, asked me my name, the whole nine. Now, you know, I truly believe in God's timing and divine. Yeah. He could have given any one of those young boys the lines, and he came up to me and said, hey, man, I'm going to give you some lines. You cool with that? And from that point on, man, that was really the spark. And, that's how I got into SAG, and that's how I got upgraded. And, but just, showing up and, not expecting anything, but just being present and having fun.
Yeah.
And from that point, man, that's what started it,
And that turned a dream into a reality, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, from that point on, once he gave me that opportunity, I never looked back.
Yeah.
I never looked back, man.
You're actually somebody that can say you made a career out of acting, entertainment.
Yeah.
And some people don't.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny, like a lot of people move to LA to pursue that. You born and bred. You LA through and through.
Yeah.
Right?
Born and raised in Inglewood, California, grew up in South Central LA. So I'm homegrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that give you an extra pride about making it in the industry? Does that give you a little bit? Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Because I think we hear so many stories of transplants. New York, Midwest, South. But to have somebody really from the soil, Los Angeles, California, it hits a little different.
Yeah.
It hits a little different.
For somebody that's like really just getting started in entertainment, what's one thing that you can give as an advice to really help them set a foundation in entertainment and not just like, I don't know if that's, watch the roles you take or take every role, right? Like what's one thing that you would say for somebody that's young in entertainment to help them to establish a 30-year career in the industry? Yeah,
man, I think it goes down to building the foundation of acting and, going to class. It's a discipline. And I think we've kind of gotten away from that to where, everybody has a cell phone. I can get on my cell phone, do a couple of skits, acquire some followers. Yeah. Now I'm an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without going to class and finding out what it takes and just the basic stuff, upstage, downstage, and, projecting to the back of the theater and, making sure you don't upstage your partner. It's those things that build the foundation because as you start to go into class and start learning the craft, because it is a craft, it's going to translate on stage, and then stage translates to television and film. Yeah. So you're not looking lost. But yeah, man, I always tell people, man, just get into a class, first and foremost, because you don't want to end up on set and not know what to do or not know the terminology.
Right.
That
is different.
And then, time is money. Money is time. You know what I mean? So that is a big part of it. I tell people to just, get in class, but also learn the business. If you're an actor, learn everything that encompasses this business. Yeah. Writing, directing, producing, creating, because it just helps your portfolio.
Do you see some people that get kind of one-track minded, or not to call anybody like a one-trick pony, but somebody that's, you think, man, they could have made it far greater if they knew how to write or direct versus just being in front of the camera?
You know what? I don't, because I guess for me, I'm just too worried about my journey. I can't get caught up in what other artists are doing. Yeah. All I can do is focus on me and perfecting my craft and evolving within my craft. Whether it's directing, whether it's producing, whether it's writing. John Singleton always told me, write, create for yourself, but he also stressed education, you know what I mean? So, for me, it's just, my journey. I focused on my journey because everybody has their journey.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just kind of focus on my thing.
Man, I like how you talk about the nuances of actually learning. And it's funny, like Denzel said something kind of that same thing of, you had to have talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a uncle, grandfather Denzel, you know exactly what he's saying.
Yes.
But what you said also alludes to the same thing. And I never thought about it. You have people that are on set that might have just got there because they can make some stits. But then you talked about upstage and downstage. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And that's something that you don't want to get into a situation. So they've cast you and they say something and it's like, now you've exposed yourself.
Yep.
And now you don't get the next role because like that person was so difficult to work with,
Right.
not because they were a bad person, because they didn't understand the industry.
Absolutely.
And that educational factor, like never stop learning, even in the entertainment space.
Yeah, I'm constantly learning each and every day. I will not sit here and look you in your face and profess that I know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a student of the game. So I watch the greats. You know what I mean? I still spend, a couple of hours watching interviews of people that I admire and what their process is. You know what I mean? And, I take notes and, try to incorporate that into my everyday. You know what I mean? But I'm a student of the game, man. And like you said, if you get into this game and you haven't taken the proper steps of education, you'll quickly get exposed. As they say, this is show business. This is the business of show.
Yeah.
This is a profession.
Yeah.
And when you get hired, you are now a professional. And I expect a level of professionalism when I hire you.
Right.
Show up on time, know your lines, and hit your mark.
Yeah.
That's the Hollywood thing.
That's the Hollywood thing. Show
You
up
know
on
what I mean?
time, know your
Know your
lines,
and hit your mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like we alluded to, man, it's like if the director is giving you a direction and you're like, excuse me, huh? You know what I mean? He only has so much time to get a scene done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can't take half of that time explaining to the person what you have to do. You should know what you need to do already. It's just a direction. I need you to, go camera left and make sure you don't cover, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
your partner.
Right.
Because we're doing a 2-shot.
Yeah.
So hit this mark.
Yeah.
And say this line.
You make me think about things that can establish a personal foundation for consistency.
Yep.
Now, you've talked about studying others. Do you have like daily habits that you do that help you to prepare for a scene or prepare for a role or prepare for a I don't know what audition. I was about to say tryout, but it's like it's a little different. Yeah. What are some daily things that you do that you feel like have contributed to your decades in the industry?
I mean, first, for me, it's called paying yourself. So I wake up and pay myself. And that paying yourself can be anything from meditation, devotion, singing, just sitting in silence. For me, I love to work out. Definitely gets the body going mentally, physically. And then from that point on, once I pay myself, then I start to get into the work or whatever it is that I have to do outside of that to start paying others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's my routine hasn't changed much, man. I guess I'm a creature of habit. So when I'm preparing for an audition, like now I'm shooting season 8 of All Americans, so they just send me thank you yeah, they just man, it just doesn't happen. So they sent me my script a couple of days ago and I've probably read it 2 or 3 times already. You know what I mean? And then I would just go in and start printing out my scenes and just start breaking those scenes down of what I'm looking for, what is he looking for, what is he trying to do, and then it's just repetition for me. Repetition. Go over it, leave it alone. Go over it, leave it alone until I feel it in my system. And then, once it's time for me to report to set, you know what I mean? I'm good to go, man. In and out.
I remember when we had this conversation a couple of years ago, you were talking about like when you started really, because I think for Preach, you were supposed to be on a couple of episodes.
I was only supposed to do 2 episodes, the last 2 episodes of the first season.
Yeah, I remember. You come in as a muscle man.
Yeah.
And that turned into a whole different dynamic of a person in the role. But I love the role.
Yeah.
Because the role showed some other people that you can change.
Absolutely.
That your past is not your future.
Yeah.
And once you decide to change, you can do amazing things.
Absolutely.
And so I love the role that you played within that. But like thinking through that, to where you were able to turn and what's the term for it for somebody that's it's like a small, but then you become a regular?
Yeah, you turn a small role into, being, one of the main characters with a storyline, a character arc.
Yeah, okay.
On the show.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was only supposed to do two episodes of the last 2 episodes of the first season. But, the showrunner Nkeche Okoro, I met her 10 years prior. Brother by the name of Jamie Turner. I met him 11 years prior on 2 different shows. One show I auditioned for 17 times. I ended up getting it at the 17th and ended up doing 3 seasons. That's how we created a friendship, a brotherhood. And then NK, I did her first script that she did for television, which was a show called Bones.
Okay, yeah, her Bones.
And that's how I met her. You know.
Wait, hold on, bro. You said you auditioned 17 times?
Yeah, absolutely, man. 17 times, brother. And within those 17 times, I would book. They would go a different direction, write the character out, or scrap it or whatever. But yeah,
but that's consistency. Cause let me go to an interview 17 times for a job.
Probably after the second one, you're like, I don't know if I could do this.
It's not gonna work for me.
You know what I mean? But I think the thing that kept me going is my agent told me, he was just like, because I was frustrated, and he was just like, listen, they're calling you back because they want you. Be concerned and worry when the phone stops ringing. True. And from that point on, I looked at it. I was like, okay. I didn't see it from that way. Good outlook. Yeah, I didn't see it from that way, but I got you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, fast forward. And just even going back to what we just said, showing up on time, knowing your lines, and hitting your mark. Yeah. Those 2 individuals that I work with, I showed up on time, did my thing, and that translated to 2017, I get on this show. They're now in this big position. You know what I mean? She was just a writer on the show. Right. He was just a story editor and became a writer. Yeah. Now, showrunner, co-showrunner. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just having that attitude back then transferred to coming up on set and doing the work to where she was just like, yo, the script came out, you get shot. Don't worry, you're not gonna die. And as an actor, you're like, ooh, thank you. Yeah. And she was like, hey, we plan on keeping you around for a while. And keeping me around for a while has turned into 7 amazing seasons and now shooting our 8th and final season, man. So it's just a true testament of doing the little things, being consistent, doing the work, being grateful, and just God's divine timing, man.
But I thought LA was like a transaction town. I ain't know relationship actually.
Oh, absolutely, man. Relationships are everything, because I think if you show up late, if you're a jackass, I don't think anybody wants to work with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just about being grateful and just treating everybody above the line and below the line with the same respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. The PA gets the same respect as the executive producer, because you never know. That PA could grow one season can be the PA and then the next be a writer, which I've seen that happen in real time on my show. Yeah. A young lady who was a PA from Detroit, they found out she was a writer, had her spec script ready. NK was like, let me read it. Oh, okay. I'll put you on as a writer for Homecoming. I've seen it happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Run that back by me. You said below the line and above the line. Yeah. So for somebody who's not in the industry, somebody new in the industry.
Above the line, executive producer, director, writer. Okay. Below the line, makeup, PA, grips, transportation. So that and those are things that you learn in the business.
Education. Yep.
Education. Yep.
Man, speaking through that, right? Above the line, below the line. Actors behind the scenes, industry-wise, I'm sure it can be something that's at times financially unstable.
Yeah, very much so.
How do you deal with that? Like I said, now you've been here for years, and you and I've had conversations about investments and these kind of things. And how, for somebody that's young, what's some advice that you can give them about saving money, spending money? Where does that to prepare for a rainy day? Because that's really what you do it out here.
I'll even go. Let's take it and simplify it. Ego. Take your ego out of it, because we're in this town to where you get on TV, you may get one role, you may not book for another couple of weeks, a month, 2 years. Now are you gonna be like, oh, I was on TV, so I can't work up in this place? One thing I learned early is ego. Take the ego out of it. For me, I worked 3 jobs up until the 4th season of All American. I had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't on the show consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, I'm old school. Bills don't take a vacation or a break. They keep going.
Right.
So for me, it was, take the ego out of it. You know what I mean? And not be afraid to work. Just because I was on TV, that didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would be in there, with a resume in hand, asking, applying for jobs. And truth be told, a lot of me being on TV helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than anything. And then, sometimes I had to finesse my way and, say, hey, listen, I'm an actor, but, while I'm here, I give you 100%.
Right.
But, when I have an audition, I need to go.
Right.
But, ego, man, is everything. Ego is everything, because sometimes our egos are our biggest downfall. It'll take us away from, the plan. And for me, that's what it was. And, having friends in the industry and having friends who were series regulars and, doing these films and they're making all this money and, just being around them, seeing, hey, when you do a TV show in the industry, when you book a TV show, you don't really go ham and spend money until maybe the 3rd or 4th season. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You may get one season and that's it. So you don't want to go out there balling, saying I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
season get canceled.
And you like, wait a minute, I done bought the M3 series. You know what I'm saying? I done went and moved up into West Hollywood in an apartment that's X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? So you save your money, you know what I mean? And you definitely put something away for a nest egg, because I've been in a situation where I would book and then it would be a year, before I book anything else. So what are you going to do within that time? So, I always tell actors, save your money, wait till you get a 3rd or 4th season, you know what I'm saying? And then you can start to, spend a little bit, so that's my nugget to actors is, save your money. You don't have to buy the watch or the big chain or the most expensive foreign car. You know what I mean? Save your money, because this industry is up and down, and you got to be able to deal through that.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about the effect of strikes,
Absolutely,
things like COVID.
Yeah.
I know the industry's been through
Yes.
a lot here in the last
Absolutely.
decade.
Yeah.
And then when somebody's not prepared for that, do you lose, or do you stop your career, or do you make preparations?
Hey.
So that way when those times come,
Absolutely.
you okay. You can maneuver.
Yep. You make preparations and you pivot. Thing about me is, what my friends will tell you, Kareem will keep a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the strike happened, I was a PA on Top Chef.
Okay.
And I flew to Milwaukee. I flew myself to Milwaukee because they couldn't pay me I had to be a local.
Okay.
So I flew myself to Milwaukee, found a spot
to get that job. Yeah.
While the strike was happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to have some income coming in. So you have to pivot. And this is during the strike. So this was a year ago. So this was season 5 going to season 6. You know what I mean? Now I had money in the bank to where I can just chill, but that's just not me. Yeah. Why just, rest on the money and spend that when I can go get some more money and add on top of what I already saved.
Right.
That's just the mindset I had.
Nah, man, that's good though. It's always about, and I love the word that you use, pivot. Making yourself available.
Yeah.
Having a presence, and then also like you think about your presence makes other people want to call you too, and like you said, give you those opportunities. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, I've seen this work ethic. I've heard about his work ethic. Your name precedes you, right? Is that what they say?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about you, or
absolutely,
I've heard.
Right.
Probably, we're gonna go a different direction.
Bad news travels fast.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
bad news travels fast.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? And it's just about being grateful for the opportunity, and like I said before, just treating everybody with respect. Yeah. And being professional at all times.
Are reputations hard to overcome in Hollywood?
It depends. You know what I'm saying? We've seen stories, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it just depends on it's that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But it can be,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, everybody loves a comeback.
Mm.
You know, everybody loves a comeback.
Yeah. You know, also though it is, and this might be not comparing apples to apples, right?
Mhm.
But when you think about somebody like a Robert Downey Jr.
I just was that's exactly where I went in my mind.
But you also think about somebody like
Jonathan
Monique,
Majors.
like a Jonathan Majors,
Mm-hmm.
still trying to overcome
Yeah,
an accusation
absolutely. That he
and
was cleared from.
of. Yeah. Shout out Duncanville, Texas. He from
Yeah,
Korea.
absolutely.
But that's tough. And
That's apples and oranges.
yeah.
That's apples and oranges.
Actually, no, that's apples and apples, because he was in the
That's apples and oranges
What?
because one person we can sit here and talk about who's
Yeah, true.
had second,
True.
third, fourth,
Yeah,
fifth.
fifth,
I
yeah.
remember seeing him on TV every other week
Yeah.
in a mugshot.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
True.
You know what I'm saying? He's overcome that. God bless him.
Mm-hmm.
But with this brother, it was just like no second chances.
Right. Took him out.
Took
of
him out.
Marvel. That's great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So apples and oranges.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different.
You know what I mean?
It's
That's
different.
just the world we live in.
Are you seeing more opportunities outside of LA now in this space? I know a lot of stuff is done in Georgia.
Yeah.
I know a lot of stuff is done in New York. I know a lot. There are a lot more. I know a lot of
New Orleans.
Illinois, Chicago, New
Yeah.
Orleans. Are you seeing that there are a lot more opportunities for people nowadays?
Yeah,
that
for
they
sure.
leave the city?
Absolutely. I think, you know, with Tyler Perry, you know, having his studio there has created an amazing opportunity for actors and just people behind the scenes, above the line, below the line. You know, New Orleans, Chicago, you know, 50 is doing Louisiana and, you know, there. So, yeah, it's a lot more opportunities. But at the end of the day, Los Angeles is the entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know what I mean? So most of the time, if they cast you, it'll probably be from here and they may fly you out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, it's definitely a lot more opportunities for sure.
Yeah.
Especially me coming up in this business in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was very... You only had a couple of roles.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And,
right.
you know, they only use a couple of people.
Yeah.
You know, but now with streaming and, you know, creatives, Issa Rae's, the Avas, you know, Lena's, now our stories are being told and we have a little bit more opportunity.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I love that, you know, just understanding how far we've come.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can always go farther.
for sure.
More opportunities.
Absolutely.
One thing I do want to ask you about the industry, and as we look at that, there were fewer roles, even still today. Like, you have an abundance of actors and not enough roles. That's always going to be the problem. So no's are bound to happen.
Absolutely. I had 17 of them, brother.
You did. You did until they said yes.
I still get them.
So, well, you talked about how you overcame that one because you had a good team, and that's a really good point.
Yeah.
How do you motivate, or how could you motivate a young actor who's hearing those no's? Like, how do they get through that? What kind of advice could you give somebody?
Yeah, man. It's this business it's 1,000 no's, maybe 10,000 no's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all you need is that one yes.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not even about you. It's not even about you. They just may have something in their mind. Oh, we want to go with this person.
Yeah.
You know, you may be good, but I think we're going to go with this person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just part of the business.
Yeah.
You know, you'll learn that in class. You know, you'll learn that to where it's just about just doing the work.
Yeah.
Focus on the work. Make sure that you're prepared so when you go in that room, you leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
At the end of it, you can walk away and say, hey, I did my best. And win the room, as we say. Don't try to book the role, book the room.
That's fair.
You know, because if you book the room, they may say, hey, we like you. You may not be right for this,
Yeah.
but we're going to bring you back for something else because we love what you presented
Facts.
to us.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that's just, it's just a part of the business. There's going to be no's. I still get no's. Being on the show for 7, going on 8 seasons. I got another show called The Vince Staples Show. I still get no's.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a lot easier to say, hey, you know, I get all the scripts and I can pick and choose. Yes, no. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
I still got audition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just part of it.
But it is an understanding that win the room,
Yes.
even if you don't win the role.
That's it.
Because you talked about earlier, people take new positions, they
Yeah.
get elevated in different
Absolutely.
spaces, and they're like, you know what, I remember that time we had somebody call him, find
Yep.
out what he's doing,
Yep.
is he available to come in and be a part
It has happened to me more than 10 times in this business.
Yeah.
To where if I wasn't right for another role, they'll bring me back for something else, or they'll, you know, say, hey, what about Kareem?
Yeah.
It's happened to me several times.
Yeah.
So it's just all about just doing the work, win the room, and keep it moving.
Yeah. I love it.
You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, Hollywood could seem like a isolated place. We talked about people that move here.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up here. You're from LA, right? But I know people get here and they feel isolated.
Yeah.
How important would you say are mentors or OGs in the game that you can really learn from to help you get through that, one? And then who are some of yours? Do you have any?
Man, when I was coming up, my mentors were my acting teachers. You know, the legendary Marla Gibbs and Angela Gibbs, who started Crossroads Acting School in the Crenshaw area. Whitman Mayo, Ed Cambridge. You know, these are people who were my mentors. Lady Walker, she was my dance instructor. So I was learning the Catherine Dunham technique. You know what I mean? Those were my mentors. In the business, I really didn't have any until I met John Singleton. So I try to make a conscious effort to be of service to actors coming up, male or female, you know, just to drop a nugget of, you know, hey, this is what you may want to look out for. This is what you may want to do. Because I didn't really get it as I was coming up in the business. I had it in my acting class in the foundation, but while I was really deep in the trenches of the business, I really didn't have. I had a couple of friends who were in the business as well. They started way before me. But, you know, they would tell me certain things, but it wasn't anything that I can be like, all right, this is the next step. This is the next move, because they were young. They were spending money. I saw that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I try to make a conscious effort to really just be of service and pay it forward, you know, of my experience in this business and what to look out for, the do's and don'ts. You know, I always tell people who move here, I say, you know, this business can make love to you or it can screw you, you know, but you already have to have a solid foundation coming here first. And you got to have a plan because it's la-la land. It's...
You call the lights.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all that. You know, you get out here and somebody talking about I got a party, and you go over here and they got some things going on, and then you look up and be like, wait a minute, a year, 2 years gone, I've been partying. Yeah. You know, out of SAG put this out, I forgot the number, but it's literally a single-digit percentage of actors who literally make a living off of acting, period. It's maybe like 5-6% of people who actually make a living from acting. So when you look out from a broad perspective and you see somebody, oh, I'm an actor, and I'm an actor.
Yeah, that can mean a lot of things.
That can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be able to sit across the table from a real actor.
No, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Actor. Brother, I appreciate you. Again, this layer of this season we're focusing on layer 3, which is the layer of the foundation, business foundation.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we find is that a lot of times we don't see people that look like us that can pour back into us to help us to say, you know what, I can achieve that. I can do that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being an example of longevity in the industry. I appreciate you being an evangelist for show up, do your job. Don't expect anything from anybody else when you haven't done your job.
Right.
Hit your mark.
Yep.
Wait, hold on.
Know your lines.
Know your lines.
Hit your mark. And be on time.
Be on time. Know your
lines and hit your mark. There it is.
I mean? I appreciate you sharing that with us as well. I want to get in your business real quick.
Yeah. Let's get it.
When it comes to love in LA, man. Don't swallow your water now. Come on.
Hilarious.
Come on. What's up out here? How you doing? How you living?
Hey, man. God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Absolutely, man. Just you can. It's not impossible. It's the individual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think once, as you get older, you evolve.
Yeah.
You play, and then you get to a point where you like.
Playtime over.
Playtime over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta find that person that compliments me, and I compliment them, and somebody to build with, and just make life easier, man. Because being in this industry, you, unfortunately, with social media, that's a big factor. I feel too, because it has exposed us to so many things. If you weren't a traveler before, you would know. You'd be like, oh yeah, I've been around the world. This is nothing.
Right.
But if you haven't, and you put that phone up, and you like, wait a minute, hold on, here, and here, it can be overwhelming.
For sure.
But I think it's just tuning that out and really just focusing on what makes you happy, what you're looking for, and how you can be a provider, and how you can be of service, and how you can be able to build. And just be mature. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
Nah, man, it's further. We talk about relationships.
That's it.
On set, relationships off set work the same way.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here, got this beautiful timepiece right here.
Man, that watch is amazing.
For you, being a guy that's got a great job.
Yeah.
So you got the Louis on your feet.
Hey, brother. Just a little something,
a little something.
I knew I was coming.
Yeah.
I got to have something now.
What's one thing for you that's just kind of like I got my eye on this? Anything you got your eye on?
Man, I got my eye on a lot of things, brother. We'll be here all day. Man. The definitely watch piece is definitely something that, pretty soon I'm going to pull the trigger on.
Okay, yeah.
And definitely property. Like that's probably the biggest for me. Yeah. Is owning another home. That's like been the goal. That's what I'm focused on. And it's definitely gonna happen soon. Sooner than later.
It will happen soon.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
We talked about that when we were in Dallas.
Yes, we did.
Because I was out there and I was just like, man, it's some property out here.
Come on.
Even though I love LA, I would love to, but man, Dallas is different.
It's nice.
It's different.
And it's affordable.
Affordable, absolutely.
It's affordable.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
But yeah, definitely a nice watch piece, and some property, man. Yeah. They ain't never running out of property.
They never are. Well, they aren't, but they trying to make it look like they are.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, because them prices going stupid.
Yeah,
now.
they are. Yeah. They are. For sure. But those are probably the two things that's on my radar.
Nah, bro, I love it, man. And Kareem, I appreciate you giving your time.
Come on, man.
To the platform.
That's
because
nothing.
Here at Black Menswear, BMW Digital, all that we care about is amplifying stories that represent our community in a positive light. So as we come to a close on this episode, where we got my guy Kareem Grimes, we are talking about the 4 layers of men this season, right?
Yeah.
The outer layer, the inner layer, the foundation, and the core. And this has been a layer on an episode on the foundational layer. To close us out, Kareem, I want you to repeat after me and finish this statement. Dear Black man.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, dear Black man could be profound, as profound as you want it to be, or it could be as simple as you want it to be, because there is a lot of meaning in short statements.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be super long, but if you could, look at that camera right there, repeat after me and finish this statement. Dear Black man.
Dear Black man, you are enough. Give yourself grace. We are dealing with so much right now, man. Whether you're a father, whether you're a single man, just in America, give yourself grace. You are enough. When you look at yourself in the mirror, know that it is in you, not on you. That's what I would love to say.
And with that, we out of here.
Absolutely.
Another episode of the Check-In. Don't forget 3 things you got to do. Like, subscribe, and don't be stingy. You got to share.
Absolutely.
All right? We can't change the world if nobody hears about the stories. So make sure you do those 3 things. Thank you, Kareem.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
And
my
we out,
brother.
baby.